Hey everybody, it's Jim. I don't think it's a big stretch to say that one of the reasons we don't deal well with grief in our society is because we don't deal well with our own mortality. It's not something that we talk about a lot, and it's not something that, for me, I even wanted to think about. I actively avoided thinking about it. And Veronica's death put a big spotlight on that. So a lot of the sleepless nights and the emotions that I dealt with and still deal with were directly related to the loss of Veronica. And a lot of it was also me dealing with now this existential crisis of my own mortality. Because when you lose somebody that close to you, it kind of gets really difficult to avoid thinking about your own mortality. And I don't know how that experience is for you. This idea of an existential crisis is something that we all deal with differently. But I do think it's a part of the grief experience. At least it has been for me. And so I think it's important to talk about. Maybe Hannah can shed some light on that.
I think it can be hard for most of us to really contemplate a situation or a concept until it's presented to us in a very direct way, or we ourselves are impacted by it. So I think that's what happens with mortality and grief, is that our society, at least Western society, often glazes over it. It's very minimized. It's all about like young and vitality and things. So when we're faced with or impacted by mortality, we look at it differently. It is the one common denominator that we all have, is that we will all die. But that can be very uncomfortable for people to look at. I also want to acknowledge that another way this shows up is when people are struggling with their mental and emotional health following someone's death, and they're having suicidal thoughts or ideation and contemplating that maybe they want to die. So it shows up both in a resistance or potentially a drawn towards. And I think both need to be held very delicately and addressed, with trusted people in your life so that you're not feeling totally alone.